Mario,
It's an opportunity to learn about the cattle industry in Hopkins County. The cattle industry is the most important industry in Pickens. So basically what you get is 5 opportunities to actually visit with people that work on the cattle industry, and you can redeem it for a gift card as we speak. So we have plenty of gift cards so far, so we're inviting people to come over and visit and learn and enjoy some of the activities here in the square.
I'm Jessica Taylor. I'm the assistant extension agent here in Hopkins County.
Okay, and why are you here?
Why am I here? Well, I'm here to explain to everybody the economic impact that beef has on not only Hopkins County and our district, but also our state and our nation.
What kind of economic impact?
Well, if you look right here, we are in District 4. This is our demographics for District 4. We used to be the dairy capital of Texas, and we are no longer that. We have shifted from milk production to primarily beef cattle production now. Not near as much labor involved, and milk prices are really hard on our dairymen at the moment. And so majority of them have switched to beef. And so if you look over here, these are your options if you want to get into the beef cattle business. We have our cow-calf operation, where you have your mama cow and you raise your baby calves. When they get to a certain age and weight, depending on the breed of cattle, you sell them to a stocker operator, where those people will take them and turn them out on grass pasture, and they will let those cattle graze and grow until they're around 900 pounds, and then you ship them to a feedlot. And the feedlot, depending on the age of the cattle and the breed of the cattle, will feed them until they grow and weigh between 900 to 1,400 pounds, and then when they get to that weight, they will be sent to slaughter, and that is where your steak and your hamburger comes from that you're getting to enjoy today.
Can anyone, excuse me, with an agricultural background make money raising beef cows?
I would have to say it's probably more of a labor of love, but yes, it is possible. You have to be very careful about your decisions that you make and about what kind of cattle that you raise, and that depends on where you're located and what your, I guess, the demand is. Whether it is for replacement heifers, the demand around you is for replacement heifers, or for slaughter cattle, or for stocker operators. So it just depends on where you're at, what your financial ability is, but yes, it is possible.
How much land do you need to do like a cow-calf operation?
Well, our standard stocking rate in Hopkins County is at least 4 acres to the cow. So you can run 1 cow on 4 acres of land and be able to sustain her body condition properly. So it just depends on the number of cattle that you want, is how much land that you need.
My name is Wayne Hinton, and I'm a 4th generation farmer. My dad, my grandpa, my great-grandpa have been dairy farmers for as long as I can remember, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and something I've grown up on a farm my whole life. And there's beef cattle are raised in all 50 states. We used to run a few beef cows, but then there's 913,246 total cattle and calf operations, and over 700,000 of them are beef farms and ranches. 91% are family owned, and 11% are operated by women, which is pretty big considering how many farms there are left today. It's just something I've wanted to always do and hope to keep it alive.
Do you own beef cows?
Not anymore. We just run a dairy farm.
Well, what made you choose the dairy industry?
Well, it's something I've always grown up on, and it's something I've always wanted to do. It's been a part of. Kind of want to follow in the footsteps of my grandpa and my great-grandpa.
You born in Hopkins County?
Yes, sir.
It shows. What can I possibly ask you that he hasn't already explained?
He pretty well covered it all. I'm just the ag teacher that brought him over here, so.
Oh, this is one of your students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many students like this do you have?
He's about it. There may be a handful more, but not a whole lot.
That are actively involved in the agricultural business at the present time.
He's a rare breed. He's probably one of 3 or 4 that we have in our program that are steeped into it and got the family heritage with it.
Okay. Well, he just told me that he's got a dairy farm.
Yes, sir.
Is there an opportunity to make money in the beef industry?
There is. You gotta pay attention. You gotta do it all right, and kind of get your ducks in a row. It's different than when our granddads and great granddads and even our dads did it. But finding the market that you can work in and do well in, and go from there, and just have a good quality product. And that's what everybody around here shoots and aims to do. It's a good way to raise a family, and that's kind of why we're out here talking to people. And I was raised on a dairy farm myself, like he was, and we run beef cattle now. And hope to continue doing the same thing, kind of the same way as him.
I've always enjoyed doing it. I'm trying to work hard and help my dad out with it. There's over 900,000 cattle and calf operations, and 91% are family owned. Over 700,000 are beef and farm ranches. Other 200,000 are dairy farms. It's just something I've always enjoyed. Any questions?
They go to each of the stations, they'll get a sticker on the back of their card, and they go in and get a shirt at the main station, or they can put in, I think, for a raffle to get some gift cards from sponsors of the whole program.
How many stickers do you got to get?
You got to get, I think there's 5 stations, so you get a sticker at each station, and then you go over to the tent right over here. They'll swap it out for a shirt or put your name in a drawing for a gift card.
So I'm here today talking about beef byproducts.
All right,
of course,
we have
whenever
a
people think of beef
$300
byproducts, they think of leather.
certificate towards a pair
So
of
I've got a
Tony
couple
Llama
boots here that are in all
boots
leather
donated by Circle E
construction.
Western Wear. And
so
Circle E is one of our
this is a rough
workers
out
over
leather.
here
This leather has
in
been
the,
flipped over so that
in the cattle
the
trail,
opposite side of the grain is
good
showing.
byproducts.
Whereas this is
Talking about
the
all the
smooth
different things
part
that
of
are
the grain.
made out
So
of
if we flip this over,
the
it
beef
would look like
other
this.
than meat.
Hondo is unique in that it has, they have decided to keep using a leather
Here's the
insole
winner,
in their boots.
Mr. Don
And,
Phillips, and I know Don can use a new pair of boots.
The reason
Don
why they
Phillips.
do that is because they believe that this leather conforms to your foot and it becomes more comfortable than a synthetic leather, and it's more breathable. However, a lot of boot makers have gone to using a synthetic insole. It just depends on preference as far as what our customers like. And then we've also seen leather be adapted into a work boot. So Ariat has one of the better work boots in the industry, and they have treated this leather with silicones and different chemicals that make it more waterproof. It makes it so that the guys working out in the oil field, that oil doesn't get onto their feet as well. And they paired it with
and it's
a leather sole so that
next
it's
warmer,
full slip resistant.
donated by Ring-a-Ring-a-Line.
Other than that, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Tell me who you are and who you're with.
My name is Rebecca, and I'm the store manager at Circle E Western store. And so I'm out here today representing the beef byproducts part of the industry, talking a little bit about leather, the process that goes into making boots, as well as just representing all of the other accessories that we have that are all leather.
All right, this is for the MedVac.
If you include it as part of a healthy diet, so like USDA has MyPlate, which is kind of the new food pyramid, and so we created a beef version. But it's a quarter of your plate being protein, so lean beef can fit here, a quarter of it being grains and starches, and then half fruits and vegetables. So a lot of times it's what we're pairing beef with, or if we're eating like, a 20 a day. Anyway. So it doesn't have to be limited.
Okay, the 26th ticket will be the next winning ticket.
Bumper stickers,
And it's
magnets.
going to be one of the J. Hodge service
You got to spin the wheel, though. You
packages
came
worth
late to the
$750.
game.
We were in it together. I'll help you.
Yeah.
You was with them the whole time? I'll help you. Oh, you spun it too hard. Here, let me hold it.
Hi, I'm Hannah Kesterson, and I am a dietitian with the Texas Beef Council out of Austin.
What brings you here?
We came today to just promote beef as part of a healthy diet. So that's what we do, is talk to various audiences around the state about how beef is a protein powerhouse. It has lots of other nutrients that are essential, and it can be part of, again, a healthy eating pattern.
Next one is going to be for the...
I'm Amy Foster. I'm with the Texas Beef Council, and I'm the manager of Health and Nutrition Department at the Texas Beef Council.
What is the Texas Beef Council?
Texas Beef Council is a nonprofit organization, and we represent the 130 plus cattle producers of Texas.
$250 gift.
So we're here to represent the Texas Beef Council, which is a nonprofit organization that represents 130 to 140,000 cattle producers of Texas. And we're here to talk about beef nutrition, and we've got a lot of beef-loving Texan giveaways and stuff like that, and swag.
That has the claim naturally raised.
Okay. What's all this stuff on your table?
Well, we've got a lot of goodies and a lot of giveaways, from koozies to bumper stickers, and it's just basically representing the beef-loving Texans of Texas. So if you're a beef-loving Texan, you need to come by our booth and get some stuff.
How do you get a job
We
like
have another J. Hodge servicing contract.
How do you get a job like yours?
Well, you have to be in the ag or the nutrition, or you can be in media. There's a lot of different types, a lot of different departments of the Texas Beef Council. So if you're interested in getting a job, you need to email us. You can email me at afoster@txbeef.org.
How do you join this organization? You say you got to be in the agriculture or whatever, but
well, it's good to have an agricultural background, but to be part of the Texas Beef Council, you do have to apply for a position. So it depends on if your background's in nutrition or agriculture or media or any of those. You have to apply for a position. So it's not really a membership.
I don't think it's bad.
Okay, it's a council.
It is a council. It is. It's a non-profit organization.
All right, Dwight, what we got going on in there?
Well, they're judging the Kids Burger Challenge right here, right now, and we've got a great group of judges, and most all of these have judged the event at some time or another in the past, and they usually enjoy it, and they come from quite a distance to do this for us. We have Trey Chapman from over in the Metroplex. He's a businessman, a rancher, and he's a food blogger and person that likes to travel around to restaurants and writes blogs and does a lot of interesting comments on food. And he's one of our judges. We have next to him Dr. Harp, who is with Texas A&M Commerce, and he's a meat science instructor and has had several national teams in the years that he's been teaching. And next to him is Rusty Goforth. Rusty's from, he's a native of Lamar County, and he owns a cow-calf ranch and hay operation up there, but he also owns a feed store and a fertilizer business down in Mineola. So Rusty's in the beef business from one end to the other and does a great job. And next to him is Jonathan Lopez with Cargill. And Jonathan, he heads up all of the North American continent burger sales and service and processing and all for Cargill. And next to him is John Soul Sr. He was the visionary that started the John Soul's fajita meat out of Tyler, and they sell more fajitas, chicken and beef fajitas than anyone else in the nation. And next to John, kind of hard to pick her up from that angle probably, but that's Tia Strube. Tia is an interesting individual from Pittsburgh, Texas, and her father, and she has an interest in the Strube ranches and helps her and her husband help manage that ranch. They have well over 1,000 mother cows. They're Angus Wagyu crosses, and they actually had their own meat company for several years. And a few years ago, they sold that to Sierra Meats, but they still produce their Wagyu cross cattle and sell it all that's marketed through Sierra. So she's a young lady that really knows the beef industry from one end to the other. And that takes us through the judges that we have here. They're excellent people to judge this contest. They enjoy it, and we're really thankful to have them coming and supporting the beef industry and doing this for us.
How do you gather a panel of judges like this?
Well,
they didn't just show up.
No, we really and truly the beef industry is a pretty tight knit and pretty small group. We think about it being huge, and it is spread out, but you know, about 1.5% of the people in the U.S. produce the food or the meat that feeds the nation, and so these guys have been in the industry for many years, and a lot of us around here have been in the industry a few years ourselves. So we've crossed trails and got acquainted, and you know they've been real glad to come out and support the industry and help us out with this event, and it's just great to have that quality of individuals coming and judging it for us. These are the bunkers that we store the meat in during the day, and they'll start dispersing. We have 1,200 steaks that will be prepared by the cooking teams for the public if they have the tickets. So these will start going out to those teams. But Brookshire's is one of our major sponsors, and they've been with us every year since we started this event, and they do a great job. They cut all of the steaks for us. All of these steaks are certified Angus rib eyes, and
they cut them at this local store?
They cut them at this local store. About 1,400 total steaks that they have to cut for us for this event. A couple of hundred of them are used through the judging process through the competing teams, and then the rest of them go into the public dinner. And the cooking teams, Brandon and his crew will start dispersing this out to them after a while, and they'll start firing up the grills and get ready to cook for the public. So,
yeah, well, let's explain that this is a cooking competition put on by.
It's a cooking competition. It's put on by the NETBIO organization. Northeast Texas Beef Improvement Organization. And we're in our 21st year, and it's an organization that's made up mainly of beef producers that are scattered throughout Northeast Texas, and really we have membership that comes out of 6 states outside of Texas. And the common denominator is that they market the calves off of their cows through the sales here at Sulphur Springs. So We'll like last year, we ran 46,000 preconditioned calves through 8 special sales, and all of the calves that come through these sales have been weaned. They've had shots to build up their immunity so that they're not going to get sick and have to have antibiotics. And the calves have all been castrated and dehorned and off of their mothers, off of the stress of being weaned, and broke to eating out of a feed bunk and going to the water trough. And then they're brought in here to the sales. They're commingled in equal lots and sold in load lots. So cattle buyers that typically would have to go to an auction and maybe travel all week all over Northeast Texas, going to a lot of different auctions to try and fill an order, can come here to one sale and buy truckloads, you know, just in about a 3-hour period. So it's great for the buyers, and because of the health treatment for the calves, they're going to bring premium, so it's good for the producer. They'll pay up more for these cattle than they would for the traditional calves that are just pulled right off of the cow and loaded on the trailer and just hauled to the local sale barn and sold. So it's a win-win for both sides. the buyers get a better product and the sellers get more money for what they're doing for their calves. And the NETBIO organization is all about working with beef producers to help them improve their management practices, to help them improve the genetics in their cattle, and to just handle their cattle in a manner that is in compliance with what we call the National Quality Assurance Program. And it's just a prescribed way for handling and treating the cattle, and trying to, make a better product for the consumer.
We produce enough beef cattle in Hopkins County and the surrounding area to fill up an entire sale barn. How often?
Well, we have 8 of those special sales a year, and they'll sell, the largest sale will be in November, and like they've already closed the books for the November sale this year, and I think they have 7,000 calves that are consigned to the November sale. So that'll be the biggest one each year. But the sales will usually run from 4,500 to 7,000 at each sale.
If you wanted to get into the beef industry in Hopkins County, what would it take?
It takes a lot of capital, a lot of money, because you've got to invest in land. And
how much land?
Well, the stocking rate here in this part of the state is about 3 to 5 acres for each mother cow. So depending on how many cows you're going to try to run, you just do the math and figure out how many acres you're going to have. So it takes a lot of land in order to have 50 to 100 cows. And a lot of people can't buy all of that land, so they invest money in leases from other people that own the land but don't want to run the cattle. So it's good for landowners that don't want to produce cattle, to have the industry here, because there'll be somebody that's going to pay top dollar to lease the property and manage it for them and run the cattle on it.
So you operate a dairy farm right now, and we all know dairy industry's kind of struggling.
Right.
And you've got 100 acres of land. How difficult would it be to switch over to beef production?
Not at all difficult. In fact, many of the beef producers that are here today were at one time in the dairy business, and a lot of them did convert over to the beef cattle. So that's a very common thing, and it's really the main reason we started the NETBIO 21 years ago, because we could see that the dairy industry was kind of beginning to dwindle, and we felt like we had the infrastructure here to support the beef industry. We had the feed dealers, we had the implement dealers, we had everything already here. It was just natural to try and convert more to the beef. And so, that's one reason we created the NETBIO and started working with producers, trying to help them improve their beef herds and their management practices and their genetics in their cattle. So it's a tough business. It's not something you're going to get rich at. It's hard work, and the people that are in it, agriculture gets a lot of bad press nowadays. But I've been in this business. I've been in the banking business for over 40 years here in Northeast Texas, and all of that time I've worked with farmers and ranchers, and I can tell you that the people that own livestock, they're passionate about the livestock, and they care about them, and they're passionate about taking care of the land that they run their cattle on, and it's their way of life. It's a way that some of them make their living, and it's something that they also enjoy and involve their family in. So it's I can't stress how much the people that produce the beef, how much they care and take care of their investment. I mean, if you're going to invest the kind of money they do, you're going to take care of what you've got your money invested in. And it's their passion, and they, a lot of times on weekends you have something planned that you're looking forward to go and do, and you go home and you check your cattle and you've got a cow that's having problems calving. So whatever you were planning just went out the window. You've got to take care of that animal in that situation right then. And it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, if it's daylight or dark. You know, that's the business. And everybody I know of that's in it, they take it serious and they try to manage it the best way they can for the best interest of the cattle, which puts money in their pocket too.
And today we're here to celebrate cooking these cattle.
That's exactly right. You know, from the I like to say from conception to consumption takes about 3 years. So, you know, it takes a long time to produce those steak. And these 1,200 ribeyes in the case tonight, every ribeye in there has a story of blood, sweat, and tears behind it. I guarantee you, somebody out there produced it. And we're going to enjoy it tonight. And you know, I have a book at home that I'm pretty. It's my most prized possession. It's a leather-bound book that has 66 books in it that were written by 39 different authors over a 1,500-year period. And I was reading that book the other day, and in the first chapter of Genesis. In the 25th verse, in that scripture, it's talking about when God created the creatures of the earth. And if you read that, if you go home and you read that and look at it, the only creature that's mentioned by name is the cattle. And I found that interesting, and I got to looking, and there's 37 times in the first book of the Bible that God specifically mentioned the cattle. So, you know, I kind of feel like God must have been a little bit of a cowboy himself. So, our NETBIO board is made up of men that put in their time and their efforts. They don't get paid for it. I don't get paid anything for the work I do for NETBIO. I'm a banker, and that's where I get my money. Fortunately, I have a board of directors that allows me to spend some time that I, you know, devote to NETBIO, and the same way with some of the other agribusiness people that serve on the board. They work for companies that have a vested interest in the beef industry, and so they want their board members to serve. And then we have producer board members, and they come from many different counties. They're not all here in Hopkins County, and we meet once a quarter. But those directors are very involved in the industry, and they're also involved in making the rules and establishing the policy that we operate the NETBIO by. And so it's a producer-driven organization by people that just give their time to it. And then our marketing agent, of course, is Sulphur Springs Livestock, and you know, they've been the marketing agents for us since the very beginning, and we couldn't ask for a better sale barn anywhere. They're tops in the state of Texas and really in the country, and they do a great job. Joe Don Pogue sorts all of these cattle up into the lots. And of course, David's been the administrator of Sulphur Springs Livestock since about 1978, maybe, somewhere in there. You'd have to ask him to get that exactly right, but I know I came here in '77, and I think that right after I came here, David bought out Roy Holder and took over the sale barn, and then later on he took in Joe Don as a partner, and now they are co-owners of the sale barn, and they do a great job in every way of marketing the cattle. We just couldn't ask for anybody better than them. This is Troy Lopez. Troy's with City National Bank, and he's one of our planners and organizers, and they're fixing to. Brandon is with Potts Feed Store out of Quitman, Texas, and they're going to start taking these out to the cooking teams. They'll start getting them ready, and you can see those are all certified Angus beef ribeyes. All of them cut by Brookshire's.
How are we looking? We're about full.
So your dad tells me this was all pretty much kind of your idea?
Well, I've always wanted to do it. I like the steaks. It's my favorite thing to eat for sure. So we'd been wanting to do it for a long time, and finally it came together. We had an opportunity to make it happen through the NETBIO and their annual meeting, and here we are today, 5 years later, I guess.
This is Dr. Gray. I was telling him earlier that you and Brandon were the first ones that really had the ideal of doing the cook-off. Actually, it was back...
That was a long time ago when we was with ICA.
ICA, yes.
That was a long time ago.
Before we got...
Basing it off the one that was done down in Hyco for several years.
Yes, yes.
Brandon and I kind of started. Brandon's really taken off with this deal and just really done a really good job with it so far. I'm very pleased with it.
So everybody's giving credit to Brandon and he don't want to talk.
Brandon's a whole lot shyer than his daddy.
Yeah, but Dr. Gray has been a real big part of it too. He serves on our NETBIO board. We have two vets that serve on the board, Dr. Gray and Dr. Black.
Two colored vets.
You'd think that we could get a little more bang for the buck out of that.
Well, just gray and black. That's all you get, gray and black.
Okay. You from Hopkins County?
No, sir. I was born and raised in Howe, Texas, which is right south of Sherman. I moved here about 20 years ago and started practicing.
Okay.
He lives up in the Cumbie area.
I live right south of Cumbie now.
Well, you're almost.
I'm close. Right on the edge of Hopkins County anyway.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, 5 years ago, what were you thinking?
Well, I honestly don't know. The problem was about 5 years ago is when I started on this NETBIO board because Dwight Bell asked me to do it. And now I'm really wondering what was I thinking, because now I got to get up here every one Saturday out of every month and did work for Mr. Bell, and he tries to wear me out as best he can, but you know, it's all good.
As a veterinarian, do you see the benefits of NETBIO?
Absolutely, without a doubt. The benefits of NETBIO is number one is once these producers do follow the protocol and vaccinate and background these calves, then they're going to get a premium for the sale of that calf. So if you were to take like the Monday sale at Sulphur Springs, and I'm just going to make up some numbers, if you take a 5-weight calf, he might bring you $1.10 at a Monday sale. But if you backgrounded that calf and processed him, those buyers know that he has got a value-added product. So that calf on Wednesday at the NETBIO sale might end up bringing you $1.25, about 20 cents a pound extra, which is going to be a whole lot better for the producer in the end.
Well, that's real fine for the producer, but what about the consumer?
The consumer, you got to think about it that way too. You're looking on the consumer end of this thing. If that calf can be backgrounded at home, be purchased and go into the feedlot, he'll gain faster, he'll grow faster. That way the feedlot can put out a faster product at a cheaper rate, because that's what the feedlot does. The feedlot sells feed. So if that calf goes in that feedlot and he's ready to go on feed and go and gain and not get sick, then they can turn that calf out faster at a cheaper price, and therefore it's going to be cheaper on the consumer on the end.
And the antibiotics.
Right, and there's no antibiotics. If those calves are healthy, they don't ever get doctored with any antibiotics, so there's no antibiotics in your meat when you purchase it.
Okay, well that just said a whole lot to me. See if I can phrase this without being insulted. I've not heard good things about feedlots.
Correct. And feedlots have a bad moniker. They really do. However, a lot of the feedlots and a lot of the order buyers that are buying calves at these backgrounded sales, they know what kind of a product they're getting. They know that calf has been castrated, he's been dehorned, he's been vaccinated, so he's going to come into that yard healthy and ready to go on feed. So they're going to hamper those calves and take care of those calves a little bit better, knowing that they're a finished product and ready to go.
And then they just move through that feedlot a lot quicker.
They move through the feedlot a lot faster. It reduces your feed costs, and therefore you get a cheaper product, not a cheaper product, but a financially better product on a consumer end that you know has been healthy from the get-go.
I'm looking for
How many's in the bag?
54. Did you do it? On 3 grams?
I fixed 10 or whatever.
That's why I'm asking, because I know that might slow you down.
11 over here. I just know y'all are gonna make the track. I'm just glad Dad's going truck.
Gary, that is not a ribeye. I'm not even sure that's a beef.
It's not, Doug. That's what we call French toast for Greek bruschetta.
And in English that means?
It's a hors d'oeuvre. An hors d'oeuvre. It's almost ready. I'm doing Greek bruschetta for my hors d'oeuvre.
Good enough. All right, what kind of steak you serving tonight?
We are of a great variety.
What's Vanessa Farms doing out on Main Street?
We're selling our wine. We have 7 different wines out here, and we also have wineritas, which is Sweet JoJo. It's cold, it's frozen. It's good.
Phil, she ain't as talkative as you.
You get a glass of wine in her, she is.
What's downtown got to do with all of this?
Well, we help market and we help bring all the infrastructure down here, set up the stage, make sure everything is tip-top downtown so everybody can enjoy their event.
What do you mean that just doesn't happen?
Sure it does. We just go.
Well, that may be what you do.
No, that's not what I do. No, we just bring the cord covers and the electricity and provide the stage and the human barricades.
How long does it take city to prepare for this?
Well, actually, for us, it only takes a few hours. For the organization who puts on the event, it takes months, even a full year.
No, I came by here yesterday and the stage was already set up. That was more than a few hours ago. I came by yesterday
take a whole day
and you
to do
had
it.
barricades lined up on the corners. It took somebody a while to put those out.
Yeah. So in total, it takes a few hours to make sure everything's set in place.
But it takes a day to get the area prepared.
Sure. It takes about a week to kind of get our bearings and kind of set the stage and plan who's going to do what and just execute. Execute.
This would be the place to be, ma'am.
Sorry about that. There's a little bit of brisket left.
Hey, these don't look like ribeyes.
They're right here.
They ready to
open them up for you?
Huh?
You need me to open them up?
Yeah, if you're proud of them, you can.
Oh, I'm proud of them. All right, come on, you. I wrapped them up pretty good a while ago.
Okay, these competition steaks, is this what's going to be judged?
No, we already turned them in already, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is what we're going to turn to the public and stuff.
Oh, those are for the public?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many more are you going to fire up?
They gave us 9. Gave us 9.
We got 9 altogether.
Okay. What's your name? Who you with?
I'm with Grocery Supply. My name is Jimmy Cochran.
James Edwards, Grocery Supply Company.
Why did you choose to come out here?
It's fun.
It's fun to come out here. I enjoy it every year.
You've been here before?
Yes, sir, I have. Last year I was here. We had fun last year too. We like to show our thing and support our group and everything, Grocery Supply and everything.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you too.
I'm telling you, that does not look like a ribeye steak to me.
No, this is a flank steak. This is our appetizer. We're getting ready to turn it in for judging.
They're judging appetizers
They
too?
are, yes. There's an appetizer category. We've done an Asian and marinated flank steak on some garlic toast with some cream cheese, some green onions. So it's delicious. We're really excited about it. So we're just trying to do something different and be unique, you know. So
So you do it a ribeye too, or
Yes, sir. We have done our ribeyes. We've already got our ribeyes turned in. Feeling pretty confident about it. We'll see what the judges think about it.
Let's see, if I remember right, you just recently won.
We won the Burger Bash, yes sir, down at Backstory. They did a back-to-school Burger Bash, and we're Slaughter's Barbecue Oasis, and yeah, we won first place out there. So we were really excited about this event, and this is our first year to cook out here actually. So we're a little nervous, a little excited, and we'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's like, hey. What brings Shelley's out to a ribeye cook-off?
Go talk to him.
We're gonna cook up the best steak in town.
Good Lord, where are you going to turn this in?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I was gonna ask him. What are you eating?
That's it?
Is that an appetizer?
That's appetizer.
I mean, somebody to get my car and take two guys to the hotel.
There you are, ma'am. We're done?
We're done.
All right. Thank you.
Where does it go from here?
Whenever our judges get here, it's going to stay right here.
Oh, they're going to judge it out here in the sun.
Right here in the sun. They are.
So there's two of our positions right there, the black and the purple.
What are they?
There's a really good presentation that's getting the award for Her name is Anne Marie. He is actually getting Mr. Spraggins and Mr. Spraggins Jr. That's the two I was leaving out.
I love him just the same.
Restaurant category, third place. Ticket number 6991.
Right here.
Slaughter's Barbecue Oasis.
Tell him about what he was trying for here.
Slaughter's came for the Triple Crown today. He won the barbecue in August, the Burger Bash in September, and almost got the steak in October.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Second place restaurant, 6988. Bear Littleton.
He gets a
State Farm.
He gets a plaque. Cutting board. One of these. No, cutting board.
The reserve
champion cutting board. That's what he's really coming for. Right there.
Congratulations, Ben.
Congrats, Ben. First place restaurant, 6993. Seth's Lake Court Creek. Get right here with Matt. Let him get your picture.
Well, actually, that's kind of backwards.
We're going to go ahead and do the hors d'oeuvres so we can get the restaurant guys back to their booths. We've got one hors d'oeuvre winner. It's a cash pot. Kylie? If you entered an hors d'oeuvre, here we go. Last three numbers on this one. 0, 2, 3. Seth's Lake Fork.
I need to know what it was because I've got two of them.
3.
Do y'all remember what the hors d'oeuvre was?
I'll find out. Tell us the three that you cooked.
We had a blue cheese veg salad on a stick, shrimp coulis, pineapple shrimp coulis, and Boudin pepper jack cheese. Yeah. We'll find out which one was the true winner. So there's the pot. 100% cash payout. Okay, open. If you cooked in the top 5 or the top 8, let's get you up front. Open category. Top 8. Line them up. We had a tie for 7, so we had 8. Y'all ready? We'll start at the top or the bottom? 5th place open category. Ticket number 7008. Balin Country.
Hey, Brandon, we're supposed to give these out to them.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Hey, that's
4th place in the open division. Ticket number 7009. White Smoke Barbecue. Third place, open division, $750 cash prize, 7011. The other team.
Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir.
Second place.
Thank you.
1,500. 1,500 cash. Ticket 7038. Smokehouse Rats number 2.
Oh, you want a picture? Oh.
And our open division winner, 2,000 cash money. 7006.
All right.
Smokehouse Rats number 4.
Okay. Thank y'all all for your participation, your competition, and I know that the next thing you're going to do is be cooking some great steaks for all of the people that are out here tonight. All right. I have some more good news for you.
Smokehouse family.
Lindsay and Daniel tell me that they are able to take you on a little bit early. So we're going to bless this food, and when we do, you can go ahead and start through the serving line. God, we thank you for this day that you provided. We thank you for the beauty of this place. We thank you for good weather. And God, we thank you for the men and women that produce the beef that we're going to enjoy tonight. Lord, I know that each one of those ribeyes, if they could talk, they could tell a lot of stories, blood, sweat, and tears, Lord, I know that. And God, we just praise you and we thank you. And in Christ's name, we ask that you bless everyone that's gathered here tonight, give them a safe journey home, and may we enjoy the evening. Thank you. Amen.
The little short stuff.
How are you today? I guess this explains why you was not at the Dutch oven cook-off this morning.
Been here today. Yeah. Well, now we're doing steak cook-off.
My goodness.
There you go.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Hello there, darling.
What are you going to get? We'll get in front of you when you get up there.
I got two. Usually they're so ridiculously expensive.
What does everybody want?
You're a winner, I do believe.
Yes, sir. This can right here got 1, 2, 3.
Well, boy, you don't get no better than that.
We got the trifecta, didn't we? Medium to well, yes.
I have a plate too, but I don't eat the carbs. I just eat meat. I'm just giving you this one. Thank you. Thank you so much.
What is all that other stuff on your plate? Where you plan on putting a steak?
I have no idea.
You need to throw that away.
I know. I want to feel better about myself, so I got the salad.
Oh, okay. Such a girl.
I got the pie.
You cooking up some stew meat here, are you?
Something to that effect. Something to that effect. It's good. You have to get you something here in a little bit.
How many steaks you got?
All total 52.
How many?
52. And then if people start coming in, you know, more and more people, we'll have to go get some more.
Hey, how are you?
Hold on. Hold on.
What is that?
It's all the loving.
All the meat.
It's all the loving right there.
All the meat you could ever want.
We got so much
water book? No? I got one I need to do. I thought we'd just knock out to go ahead and take care of that now. Bring it up here. Bring it tomorrow.
I'll take him away.
I'll be putting them on just a second. This is my last 3 I had there for a minute.
Bill, is there anything you do not do?
Well, I haven't gone to the bathroom much today.
Bill.
I'm sorry, are you going to put that on TV?
No, sir, I'm going to put that on the interweb. We're going to share this
It'll
with
go
the...
viral.
This will go in the whole wide world.
It'll go viral.
Actually, the ones we served in Coke look way better than what we got. Really?
I will, I'll tell you. Hey! I'm doing good. How about yourself?
One final question, Dwight.
Yes, sir.
Are you happy with the turnout?
You know, it's been great. It's been great. Hold on just a second. Let them clear. Yes, sir. It's been great.
How many people you figure is out here?
Oh.
How many tickets did you sell?
Well, we sold 1,200 tickets, but there's a whole lot more than 1,200 people out here. Probably. I would guess maybe 3,000 by the time we get to the concert. There we are.
Every time I turn around, here you are. Are you?
I'll show up in your night. It's because we're best friends now.
I think so.
From Pattern Development. We are developing the Solomia Solar Project, which will be starting construction in 2020. and it will be finishing construction and operational in 2021. We're so happy to be your new neighbors.
So you're the one building the solar farms?
Yes, sir.
All right, well tell me about them.
So we expect to have about 80 to 90 megawatts of energy going onto the grid, and we should be bringing in about $3 million in taxes. We'll have long-term payments coming in, 150 to 200 construction projects. Is there anything else I can fill you in on? We do a lot of community benefits projects. We sponsored the Dairy Festival, the Children's 4-H camps this summer. We have a commitment to the Veterans Memorial. We're sponsoring the Beef Day, and we're always open to suggestions.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty cool, and you pretty much covered everything, but how are these solar farms going to affect me personally?
So I would say the way they affect you personally is if you have any children in school, a lot of those tax dollars are going to the school. If you live right over by our project, there's a good chance there's going to be some improvements to your roads made by the project. If you're a veteran in the community, we made a donation to the Veterans Memorial, so you should see some stuff done over there. And again, we are always open to suggestions. It looks like we may get involved with the upcoming Economic Development Summit or the Transportation Summit as well.
So how's the average person going to tap into what you're providing? This solar electricity? Or
so while it'll be going onto the grid, we can't guarantee that you'll be buying that, what we call electron, the electron that goes on the grid. But what we can say is your community is benefiting overall, whether it's your kids or your grandkids getting some additional benefits in school, maybe new computers, maybe some additional benefits to these sports programs, or if you're driving some of the roads that we're going to be improving, you'll definitely notice those.
So does Gary Spraggin support this idea?
I'll let Gary speak for himself.
What's that?
Gary, you support this project?
Oh, I'm all for it. I think anything progressive. I'll tell you somebody who would have been all for it would be Bill Bradford. Bill Bradford would have loved the solar farm and the technology involved in it, and he probably would have said that the technology come from some old World War II bomber.
About washing these solar panels.
We were talking about mostly environmental aspects of the project. So a lot of people may be worried about the maintenance of our projects and are maybe scared about chemicals being used. So what we've done, and because our company has a very high standard for environmental protocols, for the most part, the grass will be controlled by mowing. But in instances where you have to spot treat, we'd be using glyphosate-free herbicides. And we're always open to people suggesting specific herbicides that they feel comfortable with, and we'll take that into consideration. We have an internal environmental team that will review everything, and they always adhere to the highest standards.
So you're not going to be spraying these solar panels with harsh chemicals?
No, sir.
That seep into the ground and eventually...
Part of the renewable energy aspect is we call ourselves clean energy. And a lot of that has to do with everything we do around our projects, whether it's adhering to all permit standards, adhering to all regulatory standards, and taking everything a step further and saying, as a company, we want to be clean beyond what's required. And again, if anyone has any concerns, you can always go to our website and submit questions or shoot us an email, and we'll get back to you.
And that website is?
I believe it's solomiosolartexas.com, but I can pull that up. It is solomiosolartexas.com. Feel free to go by and check us out. Submit any questions you have. We are always happy to get back to you. We are looking forward to being your new neighbors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are they?